old is she? Because as much as I'm judging right now, when I was like 21, 22. Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel, LaVie with Knee. In today's video, I'm giving you guys the thoughts and opinions that you didn't ask for on season 7 of Love is Blind: The Reunion. My name is Knee. If you haven't already, hit that red subscribe button. Also ring the notification bell so you never miss an upload. And if you want to hear what I have to say about this crazy season 7, that's the country coming out. If you want to hear what I have to say about the season 7 cast of Love is Blind, just keep on watching. So I have my notes right here. I took notes while I was watching the reunion just so I could make sure I hit my talking points when shooting this video. So if you see me looking down, it's just to make sure that I cover everything that I want to cover. And I've been trying to stay off like Facebook and off TikTok and listen to everybody else's opinion, so that way I'm not influenced or kind of swayed in my judgment and my assessment of things, because you know, sometimes other people's opinions, when they voice it may sway you one way or the other. I just wanted to come on here authentically me. Why can't I say that? Authentic? I wanted to come on here authentically. That's right. I wanted to come on here authentically me. It's when I try to add me to it. Authentically me. To let y'all know what I think about all this craziness. So with that being said, let's get right into it. So starting with the fashions, I thought that everybody, for the most part, looked real good. The guys, they came out. They were not coming here to play. Steven's suit, that dark green, looked really good. Tyler's suit looked really good. I thought that Garret looked really nice. Like, all the guys, for the most part, looked really good. Ramses, his sense of style, to me, just gives off very artsy. So his outfit, in that regard, just kind of fit that. It fit his personality, in my opinion. It fit his style. I did see that he got some backlash online when they released, like, the fashions before the reunion. Honestly, I didn't see anything wrong with his outfit. I thought it was very fitting. Going to the ladies, Monica, she was giving body. She was giving body. And her makeup, whoever did her, I need to know who did her makeup, because her makeup was fabulous. I know, also too, Ashley was getting backlash on her dress. They were calling it like a spider. I didn't mind all the intricacies on her dress. What bothered me and my ADHD though was her hair being her face. I just wanted her to do do like that, or do like that just one time. I did not like Hannah's dress, and I really didn't like her shoes. Marissa's dress at first glance looked very simple, but when they kind of zoomed in and you could see like the intricate details on it, I was like, oh, okay, that dress is really pretty. Ashley's dress I did like, however, I just wish there was more material, like in the bust area. There were a couple shots where I felt like she was gonna have a nip slip, and that's the only thing that I didn't like about it. Was just that it just didn't cover her boobies, her chest that well, in my opinion. I'm really surprised that they started off with Ashley and Tyler first in this reunion, because let's just keep it real. That's really the only reason why the people tuned in. They really wanted to see what Tyler and Ashley had to say in response to all of the backlash that they were getting online. And I'm just gonna say this, his response to everything that's been going on, to me, is typical. It seemed very rehearsed. Like, his people said, you go in that store, you don't touch nothing, you don't ask for nothing. And that's exactly what he did. They wrote out a script, he stuck to it, and what do you expect? What do you expect? He is allegedly going through legal battles right now, so honestly, I'm pretty sure there's only so much they can say without compromising all of the legalities and everything that's going on. So I'm not surprised Ashley was like, that's my man and I'm gonna stand beside him. You know, kudos to you, girl. I do want to say this, take away everything we know about Tyler and Ashley, they look really good together. It was really nice to see Ashley's mom there supporting her. It was really nice to see her mom there. But girl, I about fell out my chair when she said, I'm learning from them. What? What? We learn how to be a fool for love. That girl, come on now, Ashley mama. That went over my head, and I just don't get it. I'm not understanding because, and I don't want to seem like I'm coming off like disrespectful or dismissive because, as we've heard, Ashley's mom went through a lot with her dad and this, that, and the other. So from what I'm seeing is this is like a generational trauma, and hopefully at some point they're able to break this curse. Unfortunately, Ashley wasn't the person to break the generational curse in dealing with men of that stature. However, she may be able to instill in her daughter or their daughter, if they have one, and maybe the generational curse can break with them. I don't know. It's just unfortunate. And I just wish things would have panned out very, very different for them. I do believe Ashley explained why she wanted to have that conversation on camera, which even after hearing her explanation for it, I still don't get it. That's just something I would have kept private between me and him, especially since she was saying that she wanted to protect the kids and all the other people involved. And why even have this conversation on camera in the first place? I don't know. It really didn't make sense to me. But, you know, their relationship may seem crazy to us, but if it works for them, it works for them. As someone who is married, that's one thing that I preach. Hey, do what works best for you and your relationship. And if that's what works for them, you know, I wish them the best of the luck. I wish them the best of luck. Hannah just kind of, she irritates me a little bit. She said on camera, I've done the work, I've changed, I know I need to change, yet the only thing that has changed is her outer appearance. Her insides seem to be just the same as they were on the show. She is still very rude and direct, which I don't think that she's direct at all. She's just rude. You know, direct, in my opinion, is when she heard from someone else that Nick had been calling her names or talking about her looks or something, a direct person would have addressed it right then. You know, I've been around direct people. I know people who are direct, and they do not come across as itchy by any means. They're just like, hey, this is the fact. This is black and white. And I respect those people a lot more. For her to say, this is just me. I remember a while ago I was watching Divorce Court with Judge Lynn Toller, and she would always say that people who say that are just not willing to change. And so when I hear that in the same sentence as, I've changed, I've done this, I've done that, I'm just going to have to say that I don't believe it, and it definitely reflected on the reunion. I did have to cackle at Garret, though, because Garret was like 100%, look, Nick is a far better man than I'll ever be, because that couldn't be me. Long story short, Garret said, wouldn't be me. I'm for Garret. I'm with Garret, because Nick, he dealt with way too much. And I don't know if it was for the cameras or if that's really how Nick is, but he is a far better man than I've ever seen in my life, because most men would have not dealt with that. Even at the reunion, it took Hannah, I'm gonna say, about 10 minutes to finally get to an apology, and even the apology was just subpar. So I think that they're better off apart, doing their own thing. I don't understand why Marissa was going so hard for Hannah. It really didn't make sense to me. For somebody to say, oh yeah, she was a bleep to me, but we're friends and I love her, that to me is just kind of crazy. And I don't want to be friends with somebody who talks to or treats me in that way. So going to Nick calling Hannah a 5 out of 10, saying that she was a grenade. First of all, I haven't heard grenade since like Jersey Shore, and since Pauly D called them women on the Jersey Shore grenades, I haven't heard that phrase. So my ears, I was like, what? Not the Pauly D. So anyways, hearing grenade was just really nostalgic to me, and I wonder if anybody in the world besides like the millennials know exactly what a grenade is. Her calling him a grenade, I don't know. Maybe I am one of those people that doesn't bother me. This is Love is Blind. I know we're not supposed to think about the looks when we're in the pods, but outside of the pods, it's 100% like, am I physically attracted to you? And the fact that Hannah can go on national TV and bash this man's look from head to toe, I thought he was going to be bigger, he's scrawny, I'm bigger than him. Also talk about his intimacies and things like that. And then you get upset because behind closed doors, he makes a statement about your looks. Keeping it private, keeping it between him and the other cast members, they don't equate to me. It's just, it's not the same. And also going to the grenade thing, Steven asking, why y'all ask Steven? Why did y'all ask Steven to co-sign on that? Steven was asleep. He was at the sleep study. He was asleep. He don't know. Did y'all see how he was just like, yeah, and then like backpedaled and was like, wait a minute, no. Like, get Steven off the stage. He don't know. He needs to work. Steven needs to stay in his lane and keep it cute with him and Monica. Don't get into everybody else's business. That cracked me up. Steven was like, yeah, but I mean, no. Steven. Hannah's personality and the way that she handles people and the way that she talks to people gives me, she doesn't have friends around her that lets her know when she's wrong, right? She doesn't have friends around her that hold her accountable. She doesn't have not just friends, but people around her that hold her accountable and that call her out on her stuff. So unfortunately, this is Hannah. This is how she's gonna be. She's had a year to kind of reflect on the show. She's watched the show, and even after all that, on the reunion, this is what we get. So I'm gonna say, there is room for people to change, but I don't think that's happening with her. I wish her the best of luck though. So, oh. Go back to Nick. Nick in this journal and things like that. Hannah, I think, was just grasping at straws, trying to make him look bad. Honestly, with the way that she treated Nick, outside of her saying that he slapped her upside the head with a boot, I'm going to be Team Nick. So, it is what it is. I don't know. Maybe that's just me not being a girl's girl because that's the phrase that we like to use. But I'm Team Nick on this. I just don't. I don't see where he deserved all of the lashings that Hannah gave. And once again, even if he was calling her names and addressing and talking about the way she looked and things like that, she should have addressed it then instead of just being mean to him. There's really no point in that. And if he was doing all that, like, why are we staying with him? Why are we staying? I don't know. Anyways, moving along. Leo kind of won me over with this. In the pods, he seemed like a creep. He seemed like a manipulator. All the bad, negative things. But on the reunion, he seemed to have really kind of mellowed out and gotten himself together. His apology was a little cringy. I was like, oh, he practiced that in the mirror, which he may be the kind of person that needs to practice what they say before they say it. Irregardless, him and Brittany's segment to me was just really cute. I appreciate him for, taking accountability for the way that he treated Hannah and also Brittany in the pods. And I want to say his pasta and steak scenario made perfect sense to me. I don't know, maybe I'm a little cray-cray, but it made perfect sense to me. I was like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. And that was such a great analogy. So despite him calling those girls pasta and steak, the analogy made 100% sense. And I really do like that him and Brittany are good friends. They seem to have a great relationship. They seem to have bonded well. And Brittany, to me, she looked real cute. Her personality is just very vibrant and very light and fun and bubbly. And I really do like her energy. I'm glad she's not a gold digger and didn't just stay with Leo by any means necessary just to get that money, honey. But, their segment was cute and I enjoyed watching it. So that's all I have to really say on them. Steven is such a cornball. He is so corny to me. And I don't know if it bothers me or if it's entertaining to me. It's really right there on the cusp. It's a real thin line because it's like, why did you make the statement about meat to get people to pay attention to you, and then when we got to you, you were like, I don't know, I deleted it. Like, come on, Steven. The pictures of the sleep study, was it that night? Did we have a timestamp? Because I'm gonna have to fact check on that. Steven came in and was like, look, I'm about to tell y'all my truth, but I'm only gonna tell you but so much. And I'm not going to tell you too much because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what I say. Y'all are not going to believe me. So I really don't want to waste my time telling y'all this. And I was just like, kudos to Steven. And I will say, Monica kind of disappointed me a little bit, and this is why. Steven made a mention saying that they had gone to dinner and they had squashed it and they had worked out everything. So if that is true, I don't know why she's coming on stage acting brand new. I don't know if she wanted to be part of the woe is me, the misery loves company party with all the other ladies. But I mean, if y'all squashed it, y'all squashed it. There's no need in getting air in your chest and trying to be this, that, and the other because that's what's going on around you. If you and Steven squashed it, y'all squashed it, and there's nothing wrong with that. Taylor and Garret to me seemed really sweet. They were so lovey-dovey, and when that girl said where Garret is home, I about melted in my seat. That was the sweetest thing. It was so sweet, and it was so nice to see her parents there. And I am Taylor's daddy. Thank you, Netflix, for paying for a wedding so I don't have to pay. Thank you for not making me come about my pockets and paying for an extravagant wedding. I know that's right. You better save that coin, Taylor's daddy, because that's me. That's me. It was kind of sad not to see Garrett's family there, because then that just kind of makes me... If Garrett's family would have been there, it kind of would have said to me, like, oh, we've gotten past, like, the race thing. We're really cool with her not being, you know, of our ethnicity and things like that. With them being absent, it kind of just... Not saying that they aren't cool with it, but it just kind of leaves room for speculation. But they seem really cute, and I'm glad they were able to compromise and figure out a place to live and things and that. This, that, and the other. I think they'll do very well. They'll be married for a long time, and they just seem like so sweet and so in love. They were so loving, like touchy-feely, kissing, like they were just so sweet, and I really and truly wish them the best of luck. They were sweet. Going to Tim and Alex. I wanted to see the fight. I wanted to see the fight. I needed to see the argument so I can accurately judge and form an opinion on what happened between them for my own self. I do like the fact that he said there was nothing abusive, so we can stop calling Alex an abuser, because I was one of those people that was like, you put your hands on me, I don't care how you do it, that's abuse. So I'm glad he cleared the air, this, that, and the other. However, she called that man beep, and that's just... That's so disrespectful. It just makes me side-eye, like, her character, for her to say this to a person that she essentially has just met and really doesn't know a lot about. So, I don't know. The story about her and her parents and things like that, I'm also side-eyeing, because if your dad was just put into an inpatient facility and that is concerning you, why did you go on the show? I don't foresee a situation. Not only did you go on the show, but you didn't even tell your family that this is what you're doing. So essentially, you just disappeared for a week. I don't see, and I'm not going to say never. I don't like to say never, but I don't see a situation where my family is falling ill and now they're in an inpatient rehab, which I work in inpatient, so I have firsthand knowledge on what goes in and out. But a situation where they're now being transferred to a facility and I'm not there every single day by their side. And then to say, like, oh, I was thinking about my dad and it just broke me down to where you were crying on the bathroom floor. Well, what is Tim to do? He doesn't really know you. He's engaged to you and he's trying to be a comfort for you. So if he didn't come to your side, what would you say? The fact that he did come to your side, we heard what you said. I will say this, if Alex told Tim to, like, hey, just bag up, give me some room, I do see fault in Tim for not, like, just giving her that, not giving her the space to kind of process and let her emotions hit her the way that she needed them to hit without him influencing or infiltrating in. However, I do understand him just wanting to be a support. And when he said, you know, hey, listen, I'm a 6 foot, 225 black man, it doesn't matter what I do, I'm going to be deemed as whatever. I really felt that. Like, I was just like, you know, hey, protect black men at all costs. We really do have to do a better job because they are often known as the enemy, and there's a lot of times where they're out in the world and they have to really and guard, what's another word that I'm looking at? Guard and really monitor their steps because how they're perceived in society. But for her to double back and say, I was trying to protect you, girl, if you were trying to protect him, you wouldn't have called him that word. I hate that the first time that they've talked was on the reunion because it just really made it look very dysfunctional and there was no resolution that was going to be made. They were talking at each other. They were talking at each other just to try to get a point, to get a job, and to make the other person look better than the other. There was no way they were going to reach a resolution on that stage. I give kudos to Vanessa or production or whoever who said, like, look, that's enough of this. We're gonna, cut the cord on that and let y'all talk about this off camera if that's what you decide to do. And Tim was like, I told that girl I never want to see her again, and that's what I had meant it. I'm only here right now so I don't get fined, all right? And he stood on that. And just thinking about the way that Ashley communicates, I think they're both poor communicators. I think Tim does a good job at expressing how he's feeling, but as far as communicating, he doesn't do a good job at, and neither does Ashley. So when she's on the bathroom floor crying, I'm pretty sure she didn't communicate, like, any of what she was able to say on the reunion stage. And, it's just unfortunate. They are not... I don't think either one of them was ready for marriage. I don't think that Ashley has room in her life right now for a husband. She went down a list of things that she had going on, and there's just no space to have a relationship in that, not a new one in that, along with having sick parents. So it's a lot that she has going on, and she needs to get her ducks in a row before she, steps out and tries to pursue a relationship. I do think that it was very sad that Tim made all that food and showed up for her and her family, and she kind of dropped the ball. I have seen on a couple of discussion boards where like, if I'm sleepy, I'm sleepy, and I'm going to have to disagree with that. If my in-laws are coming to town, I'm making sure I'm recharged and I'm ready to entertain them for as long as I need to. Unless they're coming on a day and I cannot rearrange my schedule, I'm going to let my husband know, like, hey, your mom, your dad, your aunt, whoever is coming at 7, I have to be where I need to be at 9. So, at around 7:45, I'm probably going to sleep so I can be ready to go and do what I need to do. And that's just part of communicating. That's just part of being in a relationship. And, if they know on the front end, they're able to better plan and better prepare for what's coming ahead. Once she called him out his name, I think that was the beginning of the end for the relationship. I think in that moment he clocked out, and it was just a ticking time bomb on when he was gonna call it quits. You call me out my name, your house is not well kept, I show up for you and your family, you don't show up for me, and on top of all that, you decided to go to sleep. Girl, I'm done. And that's not you going to sleep because you sleepy. Anyways, I think he was done. He was clocked out. He was like, no, girl. I don't see either one of them getting married anytime soon. They're not ready. They're just not ready. There's more self-work that needs to be done between the both of them. And I hope that they do that. I hope they reflect and grow and become better people, because they do have the potential to be really great. And so, I wish them the best of luck. Marissa, I felt really bad for her in the way that their breakup was displayed on national TV, because as somebody who's been broken up with, I've been there, I've done that. I have ugly cried on the floor, slid down the wall, done all the dramatic stuff. So I get it. And my heart was breaking for her in that moment. I do agree with Marissa's mom, though, when she said, like, hey, he should have just been forthcoming and expressed what it is that he was having concerns about instead of reassuring her that everything was okay. And I 100% agree with that. I believe that when Ramses found out that she was military, he knew that that was a deal breaker. He should have kind of let it go then. But for some reason, he didn't. And then used every excuse outside of your military. I don't agree with the birthing choices or the contraception choices, however you want to word it. Whatever other issue. Instead of telling all that to her, he said, your energy. Like, come on now. Your energy. You could have came up with a better excuse. The truth would have been nice, but if that's the excuse we're going to use, it could have been better. I do appreciate Nick Lachey, though, for pouring into Marissa during that time. I think that the words he said was something she definitely needed to hear, and I'm glad that he said it to her. We were all disappointed in Marissa, though, when she dropped that bombshell of what she had been doing 2 days after they broke up, and I'm not going to repeat it. We all know what was said, and girl, come on. This man just had you on the bathroom floor, and you went back. And then you asked him, are you sure? And you went back. How old is she? Because as much as I'm judging right now, when I was like 21, 22, these people are making decisions for their lives and what's best for them. And though we can be upset that, you know, they didn't show good character or that they broke somebody's heart, people get their heart broken every day. Somebody just got broken up with within the 20 minutes I've been talking. So it's not, I think just because we're seeing it on TV and it's being displayed, that now all of a sudden, like, oh my God, that's so wrong. But you know, it happens. Things happen. Life doesn't always work out the way that we want it to. And so we do have to give a little bit of grace to Ramses as well. We have to give grace to all of them. I have to give all of them grace because it's a TV show. We're expecting them to make different decisions. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes, and they're just doing the best they can to keep their head above water. And another thing that kind of really upset me is that my fellow brothers and sisters, you know, fell into every single stereotype that our counterparts have placed us into. You know, the deadbeat dad, the dysfunctional home, the angry black woman, this, that, and the other. And as an African American, I am black all the way. You know, it's just upsetting to see how we are displayed on national television. I know that we are better. I know that we can do better. And it's just so unfortunate that that's the way we out here looking, you know. It's just sad to see, and that's all I gotta say. I don't know what everybody else thinks. Drop down in the comments and let me know. I like the Where Are They Now? I like having the former castmates as guests on the reunion show. I think it's cool. It adds a different dynamic, especially those cast members that have no filter and don't care and, you know, are just gonna say it like it is. AD and Marshall together are messy. Messy in all the good ways. They are messy. And I'm just like, Marshall, his facial expressions say everything that I need him to say. And AD, she was like, girl, what? Like, it was just, to me, it just makes for good TV. And it's good to see, like, hey, you know, even though this show kind of messed me up, if you get messed up, you do get some normalcy in your life and you're able to be, you know, somewhat okay. I don't like, though, how they kind of put it into the reunion, unless they just need more B-roll to kind of filibuster and add more time to it. I think that they should do maybe like a 10-minute mini series or do outside of the reunion, like have it as an extra so we can pick and choose if we want to see, like, you know, like a cute Where Are They Now, where they follow around for a week and do like updates, or maybe do like a little Q&A before the reunion gets started or something like that. I think that I would appreciate that a little bit better versus in the middle of us talking about Tim and Alex and how they getting bowdy. Oh, bliss. let's see your baby. You know, it's just really random. And I don't understand why. What's the girl's name? Is it Amber? No, Amber is Barnett's wife. Who is she? The other girl that was trying to get Barnett. I can't think of her name right off the top of my head, but why did we see her baby and we didn't see Bliss and Zach's baby? Is it maybe because Bliss and Zach don't want their baby shown? I think I follow them on like social media and they always put something over the baby's face. Maybe that's what it is. Okay, I take back my angst. I take it back. I won't say that that's the reason why, but if that's not the reason why, I need to know why. Why we saw her baby, but we didn't see Zach and Bliss's Galileo. And that's such a pretty name. I really do like that name. It's really cute. But other than that, that's all I got, y'all. I really do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, drop down in the comments, tell me something good. Also, ring the notification bell, give me a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel, y'all. Subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to tell somebody, to tell somebody, to tell somebody else to come on over and enjoy LaVie with me. Thank you guys so very much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.